So, we've been waiting a long time for this, to do horoscope of Miss Angelina Jolie. Hopefully my future wife. Actually, no. Brad Pitt's gonna kick my ass in the Fight Club. So, yes, we're gonna do Angelina Jolie's horoscope. Now, this is not a regular horoscope if you're new to this channel. Because this is a Vedic true horoscope that shows all the details as to why everything happened in our life. So maybe if you want to be an actress or a philanthropist, I think you should watch this and see if you have a planetary alignment that kind of matches hers. Her beauty. Yes, my wife. Okay, so Angelina Jolie was born on June 4th, 1975 in Los Angeles, California in the morning time. And let's bring her chart up. So this is her Vedic astrological chart. Very simple chart. Okay, the rising sign that you see there, that's the ascendant, the rising sign. And it's a very easy chart to understand. You know, just go counterclockwise from the chart where you see Venus as in rising sign. And those are the houses. So first house, second house, third house, all the way to the 12th house. And all the planets in there are kind of creating certain situations in our life, which they are creating for everybody. Okay. So Angelina Jolie is a Cancer ascendant with Venus in the ascendant. Venus in Cancer. Very good. Okay. And then she has the North Node Rahu in the 5th house in the sign of Scorpio. And she has Mars, Jupiter, and Moon in the 9th house in the sign of Pisces. And she has Mercury, Sun, and the South Node Ketu in the 11th house, while Saturn is in the 12th house. So this is her basic planetary alignment, okay? So now we want to see as to how certain situations developed due to this planet in her life. So first of all, let's just find out what is Angelina Jolie is really famous for. For her beauty, okay? And beauty comes from what? Venus, okay? And Venus sitting in the house and the ascendant house, which represents your face, your head. Okay, this whole part is represented by the ascendant. And Venus there, sitting in the sign of Moon, the feminine sign, and Venus is very well in the 4th house of Cancer, which is the official house of Cancer, because that's where it gets its directional strength from. Because each planet has a directional strength in a certain house. They become strong or weak. So Venus in the ascendant obviously has a good directional strength. In the sign of Moon, you know, sensual, and it's giving her radiant beauty. Okay. Now, second issue is to her relationship with the father. Okay. I forgot the name of John Vogue Pitt. I don't know what his name is, but we all know she has issues with him. Now, who represents the father in astrology? Sun. Sun represents your father figure, while Moon represents your mother. Okay. So Sun is first of all sitting with the South Node Ketu, a planet with a headless body, meaning that it doesn't think. Second, Rahu, the North Node of the Moon, which is absolute enemy of the Sun, is throwing its directional aspect and eclipse over the Sun. So this is why her relationship with her father and any kind of a father figure has always been doomed. Because like I told you before, like whenever Sun comes into tight conjunction or even loose conjunction with these nodes within 15 degrees, they tend to do their job pretty well. Okay. And now we want to know as to what happened with her marriages. She got married twice. Okay. And every time it's turned into a divorce. Well, number one thing that I've always said, Cancer ascendant people are always better off marrying after the age of 35. If Cancer people marry before 29, even like 30, at least past the age of 30. But if they marry before 29, they always get a divorce. They always seen a divorce. I've seen this, you know how many times, like this out of my head, I would say 9 out of 9 times I've seen this happen. Because Saturn controls the 7th house of marriage. And Saturn is a slow moving planet. And so Saturn doesn't want to give you everything quick on the houses that it rules. So whenever you get married, for Cancer rising, Saturn's going to say, this ain't the time yet, buddy. And he takes it out. So that's That is what it's denying the whole marriage aspect to Angelina Jolie. Plus, the Lord of the 7th house, Saturn, is sitting in the 12th house of losses. So Saturn is giving losses whenever it comes to the age of marriage. However, after the age of 35, Saturn doesn't give as harsh of an effect. So everybody has a good or bad marriage. So even this marriage, once she ties the knots legally, the marriage it's going to be like that, the battle of egos. It's going to happen. The activation of marriage is going to do that. However, it's a lot more sustainable once you get married after the age of 35. Now, what we want to see is her kids. She has what? 12 kids? 10 kids? No, she has 8 kids. I'm sure she's going to end up with 30 kids. Anyway, how does she get her kids? Because, well, Rahu is in the 5th house. I thought it's supposed to deny children. Okay? But you're forgetting something. Jupiter is looking at the 5th house of children from its 9th aspect, and from a very strong place in its own sign. And sitting with his friends, it's casting its directional aspect to Rahu and controlling, hey, you better not do anything malefic here. And what Rahu does, Rahu is all about breaking tradition and all about the unorthodox things in life. So what did Rahu do? It gave her children who were adopted. It gave her adopted children of other ethnicity. And then when Rahu gives everything at one time, and it gives it really quick. And so within a period of literally 4 or 5 years, she has had like 7 kids now. Now, here's one more important thing though. Why does she want so many kids? Why does she have like 7, 8 kids? Remember what I told you about Rahu. Rahu is obsession. And Venus is your passion. Okay, so an obsession and passion are 2 different things. And Rahu sitting in the 5th house, it's all about the glamour, the entertainment, and 5th house is represented by children. So your children. So she's obsessed about having children. And that's why she has so many children. And Venus, who is also passion, sitting in that house, is sitting in the sign of Cancer, which is about motherly nourishment. So she's all about the love for children. Now, if Jupiter wasn't there looking at Rahu, yes, she would have had trouble having kids. She would have tried and tried and tried. But because Jupiter is a signifactor of children, sitting in the 9th house, which is a house of fortune, its own house and its own sign of Pisces, it's giving a very powerful aspect towards Rahu. So this is how you can basically judge the kids. But however, 2 principle of astrology is never predict anybody's death and never predict what children they will have, boy or girl. Never do that. Okay. And I'll do another video on this actual matter. And also, it's how you can tell if somebody will have a boy or a girl. Well, the way you do this is you look at the exact degree the Lord of the 5th house is in. And that particular degree, then you have to look at a special secret book. And you see, okay, if Mercury is in 15.2 degrees of Gemini in the 5th house, or he's the 5th house Lord in 15.3 degree of whatever house or sign, you look at this chart and table and you say, they're going to have this many kids. That's how but we'll do all that later. Okay. Now we want to see her career. How did her career blossom so early? While Sun is getting an aspect from Rahu and putting an eclipse on it, and Sun is with the South Node Ketu. Well, remember what I said about directional strength. Even if Sun is weak and has directional strength, you will see success come early. So Sun has a very good directional strength, not a very best one. That would have been in the 10th house, but in the 11th house, it's getting very good directional strength, and its Lord of the 2nd house of wealth is sitting in the 11th house of gains. That's a very powerful Raj Yoga for wealth. I mean, that's just like a lot of income coming in. And a Lord of the 11th house is in the ascendant in a very good position in the sign of Cancer. So that's also is casting its positiveness on her horoscope. But Sun gave her early success because of the fact it has its directional strength. And also we're going to see that in her divisional chart too. But why the entertainment career? What do you see in her main birth chart that shows her, she's going to be an actress and a philanthropist? Well, first of all, Rahu is in the 5th house of having fun, of cinema, of arts, of drama, theatrical, performances. And Rahu is all about the glamour, the obsession of, having everything now. It wants to show off. It wants to becomes worldly. That's its nature. So when it's sitting in that fifth house, it's giving a lot of inclinations to that. Plus, Sun and Mercury, Sun who also represents fame, Mercury who's an actor, looking at the fifth house of that. But Venus is also, in a good position in the ascendant. So the Venus in the ascendant, which is about the whole life becomes about beauty, and it becomes about, the artistic expression. But we still cannot judge if she's going to be an actress or not. No, in Vedic astrology, what you do is you look at the divisional chart, because each house in Vedic astrology is controlled by a divisional chart. So you have to surgically open the chart, and then you have to see, what is happening in that actual, house. So 10th house represents career. So let's open up her 10th house of career of D10 chart. Okay, and let's look inside to what is happening to her D10 chart. So her D10 chart also is ruled by the Cancer ascendant. Okay, and look, what are the signifactors of a media career? 3rd and 5th house. Now look at her 3rd house. 3rd house has Rahu in it, the obsession for media world. And for Cancer ascendant, Mars rules the 5th house. And the signifactor of acting in cinema is what? Venus and Mercury. So in 10th house, in D10 chart, you always look at the 10th house and 10th house lord. First of all, Mars is in its own house, in the 10th house. With Venus, that signifies acting in cinema career. And Mars is ruling the 5th house of career of cinema and is sitting in the 10th house. So you see how you can now tell that this person is meant to be an actor. Now, Mercury is also is a signifactor of, be acting. So Sun and Mercury in the 4th house in Libra, in the sign of Libra, which is ruled by Venus, again, gives her that inclination towards artistic talent. Okay. Now, philanthropy, first of all, she's very charitable. Angelina Jolie is very charitable. In her main birth chart, Saturn is in the 12th house of donations, on spiritual donations to, any good cause. So Saturn is causing that, plus Jupiter being in the 9th house, causes that as well, because it's in the house of dharma, meaning house of doing the good deeds. And this is why she gives most of her income away to all these children in the third world country. And philanthropy, trying to better the world, comes from Sun, and the energy to have that political leadership in the world. And also Sun in her D10 chart is in the 4th house, but it's in the Kendra thing. And this is why it gives her that political inclinations to go out and become an activist. Okay, so guys, this was my little horoscope of Angelina Jolie. So if you're new to my channel, hey, subscribe above, because I'm going to be doing more of these celebrities and intelligent people's horoscope and all sorts of people, and so you can see how they become what they became today. Okay, and if you want to know more about astrology, check out my link below. Check out my book, The Astrology, The Speed of Light, my videos, my articles, everything is there. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. All right, bye-bye.